Welcome everybody to Adrift in Aldhalor, our weekly actual play D&D show set in our homebrew world of Gwenvalir. Nope, that's a continent. Aradun is the homebrew world. Our music is licensed through Musicbed.com, and occasionally we use Ambience from Syrinscape and TabletopAudio. All great services for your own content creation, or some of them are good for your home games. I'm gonna bring Shannon in now.
It's me.
Making a sour face.
Yeah, I was eating M&Ms.
They were sour?
No.
Anyway.
Anyway.
Shannon, tell us a little bit about Paradice.
Sure. Welcome everybody to Paradice. Thanks for joining us. Thank you for the raid. Girls Run These Worlds. We appreciate it very much. Welcome into everybody who's tuning in tonight. I'm going to talk a little bit about our partners, our stream partners, starting with Arcane Spectacles. Let's see, where am I at? Enhance your TTRPG and D&D games with Arcane Spectacles dice sets made in collaboration with Die Hard Dice. With a variety of set colors, you can elevate your gaming experience to your liking. Don't settle for ordinary dice when you can have top quality sets from Arcane Spectacles and Die Hard Dice. Roll the dice and upgrade your gaming gear today. Visit them at arcanespectacles.com. Next, we have Underground Oracle Publishing. They are a best-selling Emmy-nominated TTRPG publisher building new and exciting settings for the cipher system of every genre that you can imagine. Each setting includes everything you need to explore its unique world, including lore, species, descriptors, foci, creatures, ciphers, artifacts, and all of the rules that you need to play. For as little as $3, you can join their Patreon and help shape each of the worlds that they create. Finally, we have Eddie Yorke. Eddie is our character artist. He's an illustrator based in the UK who makes art for games and books. To visit his portfolio and get in contact with him, visit eyorke.com. Couple of last-minute miscellaneous things here. If you have not joined us on Discord yet, please do. We would love to have you. We have recaps on there. We have our VODs on there. And sometimes we chat about our story, and we would love to chat with you about our story and just other stuff. We'd love to have you there, so join us if you haven't already. You can also join us on Bluesky, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok.
The tic-tac.
The ticky-tacky.
Anything else, Shannon?
How
are you?
Drink water. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
I missed last week.
Yes.
Literally and figuratively. So I'm very much looking forward to tonight's session. It's gonna be great.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Other thing to look out for in the future at some point is that we will be revamping the Power Hour and Relaxing in Paradise into a single show. That will hopefully be starting up probably late June, I would say. It's probably when we'll have time to do it. But basically, we're going to just do the Power Hour as the first hour of Relaxing in Paradise, and then hang out afterwards.
Yeah.
So
it's going to be great.
Yeah. So keep an eye out for that in late June. All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome. It's time for a recap.
Let's do it.
This recap might be a little shorter and less detailed because I didn't write it beforehand. So,
Sean,
from memory.
But you famously never used to write recaps and would go on and on and on and on.
Mm-hmm. That's why we write them now. I told them because I did the same thing last week. I told them I feel more anxiety about them being long when I'm doing them from memory, so I tend to make them shorter.
We'll just grade you to increase the anxiety.
I'm not Shannon, and we don't do that anymore in the Power Hour.
Yeah.
This gave Shannon too much anxiety.
It did.
You guys don't even
No, when I don't write the recaps, I have to, or if I'm writing the recaps last minute, I do have to rely on plays notes mostly for refreshers in my memory. But
and everything's spelt wrong.
Yep, I get to see all the weird ways Fearin spells the stuff in my world. Alrighty, so last we left off, it was the 30th of Anarum, or Ilsidvala if you're from some other other place. It was also Jacques Touchard's, correct me if I'm wrong, 28th birthday?
27, right?
27th. Well,
Maybe?
he'll correct me when he gets there.
I didn't realize that Jacques was just a little shit.
Yeah. All right. I think Sass is the youngest person in the party.
28. I do not need to correct you because you were right.
Aw,
Huh.
I was wrong.
Because what, Sass is 25? 24?
25. 25.
Okay. Yeah. Firen, you're like 30 or 32, right?
Sure.
Actually, how old is Septimus?
I really know their characters.
Oh, actually,
You're 27.
wow, funny.
That's where
Yeah.
I got it.
yeah. So yes, Jacques is actually not the youngest at all. There are 2 party members younger than him.
Bruce is like, what, 78?
Probably. I don't remember.
Why am I hanging around these young whippersnappers?
I'm surprised all of you didn't immediately start telling me when your characters' birthdays were after last session, because I gave Stefan several magic items.
I
That's
told
when
you
my
when
birthday is, Sean. We celebrated it already.
Yeah, but I
I
actually
told
know
you
where your
my
birthday is, and
birthday.
it's not the date that you said.
Damn.
Well, I don't know when my birthday is, so I
My
can't ask
birthday-
for magic items.
my birthday was the coldest day of winter, remember?
Yeah,
That's right.
subjectively the coldest day of winter that year.
And my age, according to my background, is 222, and
Yeah,
that
and
might
then
have
I told
something
you-
to do with the
No.
coldest day of
And
winter.
then I
It
remember
keeps
telling
changing,
you.
so sometimes I get multiple birthdays.
Oh, that's actually a great explanation for why you're because I remember you first sent me your character sheet. I was like, Clay, sorry, but tieflings are not long lived in my world. They are normal people.
Bruce is 22.
Oh, okay. You're all children.
Yeah.
No one is as old as I thought.
I'd say Fearn is probably somewhere like early
Yeah.
30s.
Yeah, that makes sense. Fearn seems
But
like
he acts like a 20-year-old.
he acts like a 30-year-old in his culture. Anyway, let's get into this recap. So, as I said, it was Jacques Touchard's birthday, and a great big celebration had been occurring at the Harlequin and Chalice. And we started last session in the second half of the evening after Jacques had a less than desirable visitor, a representative of his brother's company across the sea in Gwenvalier, coming to tell him that his little vacation in Aldhalor is over, and in 5 days they are taking him home back to Gwenvalier. But last session we continued after that, where a few more happy things happened, particularly gifts. Jacques got a few gifts. He got a nice decorative dagger from Emile Ducant, the man who works for the governor within the Commodore's office here in Hyven. There were some insinuations that there was some business that could be done between the party and the governor's little office there, seemingly particularly having to do with the Commodore. Emile kept referencing how close you all were getting to the Commodore and how the information you are garnering might be of some value to the governor. Next, Jacques received some interesting potions from Sigil, the librarian, all having something to do with seeing through invisibility or scrying or seeing the future. And Sigil gave him a little bit of a cryptic suggestion at the end to keep his eyes open as he left. As Sigil left, our friend Septimus caught up with him and had a brief but quite intellectually complex discussion about philosophy a little bit, as Septimus had sort of expressed some of his beliefs that are solidifying now within his belief in the greater machine god out there, and his desire for order. Sigil had some retorts there to say that life and reality is a dance that has, while it might appear chaotic, has very calculated and careful steps. And that many mistake chaos to be the opposite of order. But they bid each other goodnight, and Septimus returned inside. As the night progressed, Jacques found himself having a grand old time, partying. Sass was getting into some dancing. Fiern was getting into some arm wrestling tournaments where he sort of made a little bit of a preemptive deal with Odwin, the bouncer from the Otter business, where she said, "Meet me tomorrow, and we can talk a little bit." As Fearin expressed that he is a wild card and that he might not have his loyalties are up in the air. She implied that he was a dog serving his masters. But anyway, Jacquette got into a little bit of a tiff with Cadmus from the Academy, where they were talking back and forth, a little bit of a dick measuring contest, maybe one might say, that ultimately ended in him giving him a fake platinum for for a pre-order on some clothes from Halcyon. But needless to say, or altogether, this all led to sort of the peak of the night, which was Bruce's fireworks show. He had this dazzling display for Jacquette's birthday where he combined it with the skywriting spell to write Jacquette's name into the sky. And as all were celebrating this, Jacquette started to experience a slowing of time and then the presence of someone from his past. Someone we saw in his dreams not too long ago. Roland, the sly man from his past, showed up and sort of revealed himself to be extraplanar in some sense and implying some fiendish backgrounds, as he also implied that all of Jacquette's success was thanks to him, and also that he chose the right horse in the race by giving Jacquette those dice. This ended, and all the folks around were affected by this. They were experiencing revelry, experiencing intense joy, intense happiness, but then suddenly everyone felt a deep depression almost and shame for their experience. The party fell apart at this point, and everyone left at their own pace. Jacquette and Fearn had a fight in the hallway about who's responsible for all the problems the party is facing, particularly with the lies Jacquette talks about and Fearn's rash actions. But all of this led to everyone finding some rest. The next morning, Jacquette found a little gift in his room from Mr. Greaves, the criminal mastermind of the syndicate within town. A little stone and a little happy birthday card. Downstairs, the nerds let him know that the stone had some undesirable magical properties, but they were able to dispel all of it with Bruce's lollipop spit rag dispel magic. Along the way, they also identified a lot of the magic in this space to be fiendish, and that could be some sort of fiendish presence within the city causing some of this trouble. But their conclusion at the end was that they should probably finally start taking the advice everyone has been giving them and stop trusting the people of this city and only rely on each other. And that's where we left off. All right. So, it is the morning of the 1st of Novum. It is a Nenua, or a Friday, and winter is beginning. The sky, I'll sort of frame this from Sass's perspective, since she wasn't here last week. We'll start with her waking up with a painful headache on the sandy shores of Hyven. You feel the waves crashing up against your legs. You're completely soaked. You definitely took a swim last night. And it's just not really...
I don't remember it.
Yep. And yeah, who knows what you told your patron.
No. Another deal.
But you also fell asleep like where the waves were coming onto shore. So you're still soaked.
Yep.
You wake up just feeling gross.
Yep.
There are people around on the shores, fishing, doing whatever. You wake up and you look up to the sky and you immediately would see what you've seen every year around this time, the gas giant Vero, the mother planet of Aradun, mostly eclipsing the sun. Despite the fact that it is morning, it's quite dark. And it hasn't completely eclipsed the sun yet. That's for the darkest month of winter, but this is the beginning of winter. You remember parts of last night, for the most part. A lot of dancing. But what you particularly notice is someone who is sort of standing over you. there's a human man who looks like he's probably in his late 30s, early 40s. He has, he's wearing very simple clothes. Looks like he might be someone who works in the docks, or he might be a commoner, a laborer of some kind. He has short cropped hair, though, on the sides, with a little bit of sort of the sun and sweat has caused it to sort of stand up as if there's product in it. He has a little mustache with a little soul patch, and then scruff all around as he reaches a hand down to help you up.
Thank you. Fuck.
Are you all right?
Yeah, no, I'm fine. This actually happens a lot.
You wash up on
lot
shore
more than-
frequently? Are you from the sea? Dangerous to sleep on the shore.
Yeah. So many words for this early. I don't even know what.
Oh, come, let's get you up. Let's get you up.
Okay. Hi. Yes, I can stand up. Who are you?
Oh, Roland.
Roland. Right. Good morning. Thank you for your concern. I'm fine.
Okay, all right. I just wanted to make sure you looked like you were in trouble. You look like the kind of person who gets into trouble.
Maybe, but
Well, you're
not-
dressed like a pirate, it looks like.
Yeah.
He grins. Don't get me wrong, it's a
Yeah.
good look.
As I'm covered in sand and soaking wet. Thank you. Do you have somewhere to be?
No, I was just walking on the shores on this
Oh,
last day, really. It's going to get too cold soon. Be out here.
that's right. It is kind of chilly, isn't it? It's winter now, right?
That's right, yeah. It stays pretty temperate here in the Aldhalor Islands, at least these parts. You go too far north and it gets quite frigid.
Right. Did you go to the party last night?
No, I don't really like to celebrate in that way. I heard about it, though. Jacques Touchard. Quite a figure.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yes.
Speaking of, are you Saskia?
Yeah. How?
Of Iron and Mana?
Yeah. Yes.
Big grin.
Yes.
Big grin on his face.
Yes. I take my my hat off and just splash water as I take a bath.
And you see he gives you like almost like a clap at that, like a little a very like gentle clap. He's like, magnificent. No, all the word in the docks is of your adventuring party. Oh, I it's interesting to see. I wouldn't expect an adventurer to just sort of be washed up on the shore, but
No, I like the sea. I like being near the water. It's just it's comforting.
And you see he just like steps closer to you as you're saying all of this. And he's, yes, the sea, and he kind of like puts an arm out towards the water, and like almost to the point like this man has got like somewhat of like a storybook character vibe to him.
Yeah.
As you're talking to him, despite his very pauper-esque look, and like his skin's like quite sunburned. He definitely looks like he works for a living.
Yeah.
I've always loved the sea. Trapped on the docks, though. I don't get to go out there much, mostly working here. Tell me, what's your favorite thing about the sea? And then you can see his eyes constantly look down to your necklace.
Interesting. And like I clock that.
Yes.
Like, yeah. Okay. I'll kind of just like casually like, oh, I love how there's so much room. There's a lot of space in the ocean. You know, there's not a lot of chance to mess things up. There's lots of space, so you've got lots of chances.
Freedom.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Yeah, lots of freedom.
He grins again. Yes. Highest value of a mariner, of a sailor, their freedom. Oh, but storms, right?
Oh, they can be nasty.
Yes.
So nasty.
Mm.
Right. Well, I was going to walk back into town. Are you heading back that way?
No. Like I said, bound to the shore, bound to the docks. It was a pleasure to meet you, though, Saskia.
You as well. Thanks for looking out for me. I appreciate it.
Anytime. And then he sort of does a complete 180 very quickly and starts to walk away. Quite like now that you're looking at him, it's like he's such a storybook character. You almost mistake him for a bard as he walks away. And he sort of has a jaunt to his step before he turns around and he points his finger at you and goes, "Careful out there, Saskia."
You too. Don't let the waves wash you away.
No, they could never. As he turns and walks away.
Nice fellow. What can I see, like, as I'm walking back to go find my friends, the waterfall that I had witnessed earlier, can I see that from this where I am right now?
Yes, yeah, because I mean you go to the same spot, like the same general small beach area that's like south of the docks and the piers and everything. You can see it across the bay. You can see that waterfall.
Does it look any different since the last time I saw
Still
it?
scintillating in the sun, even with the eclipse coming. It looks quite enticing.
Great.
As you hear a baby cry.
Sounded like a seagull to me.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
yeah. It's as you're staring at this scintillating light that a seagull just flies by your face really fast, screeching at you.
Oh my god, fuck. All right.
As you may head to the Harlequin and Chalice.
That's
pitch up with your friends.
I shall do. Yep.
All right. Well, you walk in on quite the scene. Jacquette is wearing. Would you have an open shirt or no shirt while you were down there?
No shirt. So yeah, Jacquette has his classic just woke up in the morning, but hasn't left the room yet. But he has left the room. He's just got his pantaloons on, suspenders off, looking askew his entire, and he's got his chest fur is matted with little bits of lollipop in it.
What the fuck have you all gotten up to while I was gone? What is this? Is this a birthday present? Is this some ritual from where you're from?
No, this is quite important, Sass. Why don't you come sit down?
Oh shit. Okay.
I got one last present this morning, so you were onto something. That present, though, was from Mr. Greaves.
Fuck. Really? It's a fucking seagull.
Yeah, they're just all over Hyven. It's okay. They're really endearing, and they're our future.
No shit, really, Mr. Greaves.
Yes.
Did he deliver it personally? Did you see them?
I don't imagine they did. I did not see anyone. I just woke up to this, and at this, Jacquette opens the lead box that we've been keeping it in. What? It's fine. Oh, is the lead box in the back? I imagine it's still out because we're discussing it.
It's still out. Bruce would still say that.
Yeah, oh, that's fair.
Yeah. I imagine Bruce would have had to take it out because he snatched it away and put it in the bag of holding when Fearn was trying to grab at it.
Right.
But anyway, yeah, we'll say it's out.
And he kind of gestures into the lead box, not touching anything, and you can see the book, the ritual book that Fearn had taken with the skin bound, and then this little, I think it's just nondescript box, right, Sean?
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. And Jacquette gestures to it and he goes, there was that. And inside was a card. Actually, I kept the card, and he shows her the card that just says Happy Birthday, Jacquette, from Mr. Greaves, which Jacquette is keeping this card. So not only should I remember that, but everyone should remember that because Jacquette could, mimic the handwriting. Spoiler alert. Will it actually come up later? Who knows? But there's also a carving in the door. the grinning face that we had seen back with Winifred. So definitely Mr. Greaves, or one of his ilk. And then Jacquet will go on to explain the whole Roland thing, saying his name too.
Wait.
What? Don't interrupt me.
What was that name again?
Roland, Mountbatten, I believe is his full title.
What did he look like?
Jacquet describes him as...
Does it match the description of the person I saw on the beach?
Yes.
I just met someone named Roland on the beach.
Excusez-moi?
Yeah, I was woke up on the beach as I usually do, and he was fucking standing over me. And he was
I
What
thought
did
he
he want?
said I was the person he bet on. Why is he going to you? There's an ounce of jealousy for no reason in Jacquet's voice.
Yeah, he was very, like, just almost, and I'm just like kind of realizing it now, starstruck to see me as a member of Iron and Mana, and it was kind of great.
No, that's just him trying to play you up. I don't know what this fucker's deal is, but there is something wrong about him.
Yeah, it was. He kept looking at my necklace. It was.
Hmm. Well, he's a fiend, right? And fiends generally like to enter into pacts with us mortals, so maybe he sensed something about your patronage through your amulet, right? Because that's kind of your main tie.
Yeah. This has to stay on, otherwise I don't get to do all my fancy stuff. Speaking of her, she made a waterfall, and I'd like to go look at it. Does anybody want to come with me?
Hold on a second. We need to clarify. There's a lot of things going on right now. There's a lot of people that want us dead, and we need to figure out the best way that we need to approach.
I do want to circle back to this because I've been thinking about your patron, Saskia. Maybe she can help us.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Yeah, I mean,
yes.
yeah, she's great.
But we've got a few other things, as Septimus pointed out.
we have
Okay.
Mr. Greaves sneaking into our rooms, delivering us packages with messages.
My-
The De Leon brothers kind of getting a little quieter, so he's not just saying it like outright. Want you killed, and is
I
willing
think they
to
want all of us killed.
well to send a message to
Wait,
you,
what?
honestly.
What?
Oh, I thought we updated you on that. The wannabe assassin upstairs. He spilled the beans, saying that he was hired by the De Leons to get rid of Jacquet.
2,000 silver for this cute mug.
That's it.
I'm sorry, how much does it cost to bring you in? Oh, that's right, Jack Diddley shit. Okay?
This
How
fiendish creature
fucking
named.
dare you?
Could we? Not
While
right now.
Septimus continues talking, the two of them are bickering about
Yeah.
who would have the higher
Who would
price.
have- Yeah,
I'm just
100%.
imagining this like comeback from Jacquet being like, all you have to do is go to the beach and pick you up.
We have a demonic or devilish, some fiendish figure that has his interest clearly in Jacquet, where he's having visions, and now is greeting Sass. I'm at a loss.
Oh, and we can't forget that the fuckhead Ahmed Dubois has come to collect me.
Wait, what?
collect you.
I didn't hear about that. What?
Oh,
happened?
right.
What?
I didn't really fill you in. Fearon kind of overheard it, but you guys see the big tabaxi last night with the... And he just gestures to his face as if that explains it.
Yeah, right. I
Yes,
saw
I saw
that you
you
guys
were
had a
there. You were there,
conversation. You looked a little
Jacquet.
distraught after.
No, not... There was another tabaxi
Oh, right.
with a Minotaur guard, big guy.
Who was that?
That was Ahmed Dubois. He's a piece of shit. He's been a family friend. And the way Jacquet says friend, there is more venom than a wyvern in his voice. Family friend for some time and is now the lead, I don't know, liaison or some shit. Administrative assistant probably to my dickhead brother, Matthias. Anyways, Ahmed is here. I'm not gonna say it like that. I'm sorry. Ahmed is here, and he's come to make a deal with the Commodore about opening up trade relations with the Domogosu trading company. And he said that in 5 days' time, which may now be 4, it's time for Jacquet Touchard to leave.
I thought you were a free agent. You could do whatever the fuck you wanted.
Of course I can. However,
So how will you
Ahmed
explain
and
this away?
his bodyguard, and who knows if there's more of them, will probably come a knocking.
Sass, real quick, this is the moment that you briefly remember before you left the beach that there was a very, 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 very big ship that did not look like it was Aldhalorian in style in the at the docks.
How many berries was that?
Many.
Many. So they're
think
the
6.
ones that have the big fucking ship down in the docks.
Well, what authorities does Ahmed have over you?
Yeah, why do you have to... What, can't you just say, no, fuck off? Like you do to literally everyone?
Oh, I told him, but Ahmed, he does not care for, how should I put this? Me, my wants, really the wants of anyone. He really doesn't care about anyone. He just kind of fucking does whatever he wants, the piece of shit. Of course, under the purview of generally my grandfather and my brother, but...
So you have to go home.
Is what he said. But, I mean, you know, we can just skip town, right? Get out of here. Leave. Doesn't Fearn's mask have to get saving or something? What was it about that? Let's go take care of that. Or maybe we can bring Reardon back to Stony Heath, huh? A nice big reunion. That's a good feel-good story. I think that'll really get Iron Man.
You could also just go to Septimus's home.
I was
That works
kind
too.
of thinking that somewhere we can lay low for a little bit, kind of let everything settle.
I don't know, Jaquette. It seemed like they were here intentionally to find you. He's pretty adamant about bringing you back. Are you sure he's just going to give up if we decide to skip town?
Yeah, aren't they just gonna find
Well, I
you
think
wherever you go?
he said they
Found
came
you.
for trade relations, and seeing Jaquette here acting out was for whatever reason.
Out. I was not
It didn't
acting.
seem that way to me.
I did
Well,
just
I'm asking
write your name
Jaquette.
in the
Jaquette would be
sky,
the one
so-
to know if this was something that we can get away with if we left town, or if it's something we need to deal with immediately.
I mean, and at this, Jacquet steeples his fingers and starts thinking, like a mastermind might. Well, Ahmed said that, you know, he needed to create trade relations with the Commodore. And, I mean, Iron and Mana, which I'm a part of, has relations with the Commodore, right? So we could put a good word in, you know, if he lets me stay. But I don't think... There's something else that he was talking about, that I was just vacationing here, that I was playing, that I wasn't taking anything seriously. And that really rubbed me the wrong way.
Aren't you?
What do you mean?
Regardless of your reasons coming to
speechless.
Hyven,
I've rendered Jacquet speechless.
No, I
regardless
was...
Yeah.
of your reasonings for coming here, we are together now and we're acting as a group.
And we're
And
doing
we
good
cannot
work.
stop doing it.
And we're doing good work. And that's what I was leading to, is that if we can show Ahmed that I belong here with you all doing good work, maybe, just maybe, that'll show him that I should be free of my family's shackles for good.
Did he
Jacquet.
mention when his meeting was with the Commodore?
No, but I imagine it might take a few days to get that, put together. And I mean, he's leaving in 5 to 4 days. So between then and now.
Septimus
No
kind of
reasons.
goes back and kind of thinks for a moment.
If we could do something in the next few days, you know, that really shows that Jacquet Touchard belongs in Hyven.
We
And-
could talk to the Commodore. Maybe she can vouch for you.
Fuck her.
Jaquette,
I don't think you really have
your
the
feelings for her
luxury.
aside. She's your best hope of giving you a good word to this Ahmed.
He might
That's
want to
true.
apologize
That's
for
true.
throwing
And
a
I'm sure that the
shit fish
Commodore is
last
not going to want to lose one of her, I guess, assets for... It looked very bad on her and, by extension, Saipajin if his adventuring crew one person suddenly disappears. So it's probably in their best interest to keep you around. And will probably be pretty convincing in the meeting with Ahmed as far as these relations. So I say, perhaps we go talk to her first and let her know about all this. That way, perhaps when she does have the meeting with Ahmed, she can have the stipulation being that she'll be open to trade relations if you stay and remain here in Hyven.
Wow. Who'd have thunk me, Jacques Touchard, being a central negotiating piece for trade relations between two powerful empires?
I lean over to Bruce and I say, this is why the Commodore prefers Septimus.
Yeah, it's not as much ego in his head.
Yeah.
What if we brought her something too to really solidify it?
Well, you got plenty of fucking presents to choose from.
No, not like that. Something meaningful to Hyven.
Like what? What do you think? Just fucking out with it, Jaquette. You clearly
Take out
have
the trash.
You get it.
Maybe something could show that we are useful.
You know,
Haven't we proved that? We're fucking useful. We saved.
we're very
saved
useful,
all-
but she doesn't value us. You know what would really show her that we're of use?
What?
2 Leonin brothers, who just tried to kill me, by the way, that run an illegal smuggling service right out of her very city. It's not Mr. Greaves, but it might just be the next best thing. And I'm pretty pissed at those guys.
So let me just spit it back to make sure I'm understanding correctly. You, us, we.
Ernin Mana.
I was gonna fucking say that next. We want to go apprehend the De Leon brothers.
Or kill.
Or that.
Whoa.
Okay.
Not actually kill. I haven't killed someone in a while. Apprehend.
Just attempt to kill.
Bring them into the Commodore and use them as a bargaining piece so you can stay here with us. Do I have that right?
No, when you lay it out like that, it seems pretty convoluted. But the best plans
That's
are...
literally what you just fucking said.
Yeah, but when I say it, it sounds somehow better.
It just sounds basic. It doesn't sound complicated.
Okay. So it's not complicated. It might be stupid. But you know what? The fuck else are we gonna do?
So,
And
if we're actually entertaining this, how do you plan to complete such a task in 4 to 5 days?
I think we first start with the Commodore.
And
Then we
tell
can
them-
Probably-
gauge the time from there.
Might be better to have her blessing than to ask for her forgiveness. What do you think, Septimus?
The Commodore doesn't like to have her time wasted. So I think we should just go, if we are going to try to apprehend the De Leon brothers, we do that immediately. And then we present it to her. And that's proof enough of our value, or your value, to this group. So whenever the meeting is, I'm sure we can convince her to negotiate.
Don't get me wrong. I love a bit of violence, and I don't like the De Leon brothers almost as much as you don't. But I feel like might be going around in circles here. Like, there's a lot of maybes in this plan. Shouldn't we just go and attack Ahmed Dubois' ship instead?
No.
Could we steal it? It's very pretty.
If he can't leave, then neither can you.
No.
From the way that Seth described the ship, it seems like this is a person of great power, especially if he's coming to have a personal meeting with the Commodore for trade relations.
You guys know how I act like, I'm literally made of gold?
Never noticed once.
No, not me either.
I'm being pretty self-aware right now. The least you can do is meet me halfway.
Septimus smirking
Sorry.
a little.
Sorry, Jacquet, you're right. Go on.
It's because my family is made of gold. Actually, it's half gold, half platinum. My grandfather is the head of the Domuserum guilds. I mean, he's on the council, but he's the head of the council. My mother is the heiress. My father ran a very profitable magic item shop, and now my brother runs maybe the largest trading, I'm going to say conglomerate. I don't know if that's actually how you would talk about these kind of things in medieval/Victorian times. The largest trade conglomerate of Gwenvalier.
Well, your lifestyle, that's all coming together now.
Does make a lot of
So
sense.
that's me.
So why would you ever want to leave?
That's a very good question. Yeah.
That's a story for another time, but let's just say that my family's not very happy with me right now.
Did you steal a bunch of shit and then fuck off?
Are they gonna bring you to?
Close.
Are they gonna lock you up?
No. Probably just scolded a lot and then brought back under the thumb of my family. And Jaco kind of shrugs and just like slinks back a little. He's like, there's really no consequences for people like me.
I don't understand any of this.
But when you
Yeah,
have
you
a lot
wouldn't.
of money, you can kind of screw the rules. That's kind of Jacquet's whole MO.
You can
Right.
get anything out with a little bit of coin. You can get out of anything, with a little bit of coin.
And children's card games.
Yes.
Exodia.
So I guess we should start with the Commodore.
Wait, no, I thought we were going to go just get to the brothers first and then bring them in and be like, wow.
Oh, right.
No, I think the De Leon brothers, they're an immediate threat.
Can I make a request that we go to the waterfall first? I have a feeling that there might be something there that might make me more useful in the fight.
Wow, she's really fishing for something, huh? I really hope her patron has something for her, or else Saskia's gonna be very disappointed, Jacquet says to the sky as he breaks the fourth wall for like the 100th time.
Whatever. You guys make the plan. I'm just the muscle anyway, and I just walk off.
Oh, but Fear, you're so much more than that.
Well, he is
Not to
basically
him.
just the muscle.
How about
Bjorn
that?
goes and sits at the bar, 5 feet away from the group.
I'm gonna sit over here.
All right, so Sass, we'll get to your desire to drink waterfall in a moment.
Drink. It might come to that. I just want to see.
You've had these urges in the past where you want to drink.
Yes,
some
all right,
weird
fine.
things.
But maybe it's just go and stand under it, take a shower. I don't know.
Sorry, but actually, when she drank from the fountain underneath the city, she got more powerful.
Right? So I could be more. Maybe if Fearn's muscle, I can be the fear.
Oh, maybe you could summon more tentacles, and then you can grab the De Leon brothers, and then that way we
fucking
could
waltz right in. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I like this idea.
Yeah, I like that idea.
Right.
Too.
Well,
Anyway, actually, that brings up another good question: how do we go into the De Leon brothers?
that was my
territory?
next point. There's at least nothing I know personally that they've done to break the law that would allow us to go in and apprehend them and bring them into the Commodore's office. But Jacquet, you and your dealings with them, is there anything you can think of that we may set them up or get them to show their hand, or some evidence that we can use to do so?
I mean, I'm basically a double agent. I'm an undercover cop. Oh, jeez.
Wait, don't we have a witness that just said that the De Leon brothers? did it?
That's true. Yeah, we have a witness that just said that De Leon paid for an assassination. I think that's against the law. I don't actually know what the rules are around here. But besides that, it's well known that the De Leon brothers' bait and tackle shop is a front, and they've been moving things behind the Commodore's eyes. If we need to, I'm sure Winifred might be able to vouch on that, though she won't be happy about it. Not to mention, just looking through their goods that they'll have in the shop should be enough to show that they deal in illicit materials like poisons and other such things. And I'm sure there are ledgers and journals that would corroborate the story. You know, we find the evidence after we make the arrest, like good cops.
Right, well, here's another thing. How do we...
I could plant the evidence if you want. Hell, I just have to look at his handwriting and I can mimic it almost identically. Because that's how the game mechanics work.
But let's say we do have proof for them, right? What's to say they're not going to just run away?
I don't know. Can we blow up their shop?
I'll run away. There's 5 of us and 2 of them. I'd hope we'd be able to cover
They
whatever
probably
area
have
that they're in.
other men working for them, right?
That's true. If we went to the Commodore, we might be able to get the assistance of her house guard to maybe encircle the place. You know, we'll lead the charge, and the guards can kind of wait outside and just stop anyone from leaving. Unless they have like a gate spell or something. Oh god, I hope they're not that high level.
All right. Well, I'm just trying to think of a good way to restrain them too. I mean, we got Fearn, which is like one brother, but
Who am I tentacle?
I don't think any of us can.
I
really
just
restrain the other one.
I just restrained the assassination attempt last night. I saved Jaquette's life by freezing a man and paralyzing him.
All right.
I
You got to carry the man all the way to the Commodore.
That's what we have Sal for.
All right,
I
so
also
then
have
we'll need a lot of rope. So.
I have a spell that can weaken them too, if needed.
There you go.
All right. I could trap somebody too, but they're just going to be in place and tied to the ground, and that's kind of it.
That makes it easier when your trap disappears for us to then move them along.
I mean, or we can bring them to an area that we have advantage over. If you, Jaquette, go in as LaRue and convince them to, not convince them, but have them meet you somewhere. We have it all set up with traps, and we ambush them, potentially.
Jacques, you get the distinct vibe from your dealings with them that they don't meet people places. People meet them.
Yeah. I don't think they leave that hut. It smells a little. You know, at the best, we might catch them down at the docks, but I think that if we're going to go after them, it's going to be on their home turf. Which, Jacquette, thinking back to it, do they have like any like defenses there? I mean, I know that we've seen their secret gate in the back, but at my other times there, I've never really noticed anything striking, at least, that was like, hey, there, you know, might be more than meets the eye, like a transformer. Were there any transformers?
They don't have any transformers, although that's actually not a bad question to ask in this world, since there are robots walking all over the place. In disguise. No, you didn't really notice any like obvious things. Like, granted, I don't think you really ever were looking for it, but they've always seemed like truthfully, like where Mr. Greaves is this mysterious entity of this really complex syndicate that seems to have hands everywhere. They kind of seemed like swamp people. Like they always kind of had a lower like they were like the lower class criminals of the city.
I mean, I also have this, and Jacquette plops down a bag onto the table. It's a bag, dust of sneezing and choking that Jacquette bought a long time ago. And he goes, yeah, from them. And Jacquette goes, you know, maybe I go out first because anyone within 30 feet of me, when I open the bag, including myself, I guess, technically, unless I'm holding my breath, which doesn't really talk about in the description, so we'll leave that to the ruling of a DM. But, sacrifice myself. Very noble, I go out there and just poof, and hope that they fail their saving throw. I don't know how to translate that to normal people talk.
It's a good idea.
Does it just disperse?
The saving
immediately?
throw is the holding your breath. The Constitution.
Yeah. Oh, okay. That's a good point. Thank you. Yeah. So from my understanding, it travels quickly to 30 feet around me, and then if they fail their saving throw, they then are thrown into fits of sneezing and coughing, and they are incapacitated and suffocating.
All right. Well, what are the entrances to their hut? How many are there? How many could you see? Areas that we
To
need
the
cover,
house.
wherever we'll be apprehending them.
Well, generally, let me check their names. Andreas is out front. He's the big guy with the butcher block. He's probably a rough and tough guy that we want to avoid getting close to. He's usually outside. And then Alberto.
Sorry. Weren't we all there when we went to look at the mask? Or was that a different location?
Yep.
That was a different location, yeah.
Fionn and Jacques as LaRue went to their shop, but when the whole party was together, it was down on the docks below to meet with Sam.
Yeah.
So
Seems to me
Andres,
like that should be the target.
The docks.
Why do you think that should be the target, Fionn?
If we take out some low-life criminals, it probably won't make a difference. But if we disrupt the business that's going on, that's what's going to really impress the Commodore.
Think the business is them.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Also, on top of it, in addition to apprehending them for the safety of Hyven, which is what we're going to be presented to the Commodore, they did put out a hitman to kill one of us. That is the main reason that we need to deal with them now.
Look, what's just pointing to Septimus, nodding. Yeah, what he said.
Agreed.
So, and Jacques is going to quickly sketch out a map of the De Leon brothers area, which I imagine has the main entrance from Crass Alley, which then opens up into a lawn yard area.
Yeah, they do have a yard area.
Yeah. Are there entrances like from the side? Are there other alleys that connect here?
No, they've kitty cornered themselves essentially. Like if you can imagine, like if you go through an
Tabaxi cornered.
Yes. Leonin cornered.
Oh, thank you.
If you go through an alley, it's essentially like a little area that is basically like a little like overlook where you can look out at the docks. Like the buildings sort of hug in a U shape the cliffside where the wrought iron fencing is, and they've put their little shack in the corner of that overlook. And then they have their own little fence in the front, and then they have this like patchwork lawn in the front. Like I said, it's as if someone took a shack out of a bayou and shoved it into a city in a little corner.
Perfect. So Jacques describes it and mentions the secret gate in the back that he's seen them use, and then describes the interior to the extent that he has the stairs that lead down to all the black market goods and the small, I assume, sleeping quarters and maybe common space that they're at. Every time I've been there, Andres is always out front at the butchered block. Alberto's usually out there with him, but sometimes he's inside still running the numbers. I mean, it should be easy enough if I show up in front of you all, call them out, use the dust.
That doesn't sound like you.
What do you mean?
I figured you'd have some sort of sneaky ploy to avoid all the suspicion and dock workers and the like, or have
There's
some
we're
way.
not dealing with dock workers. We're going straight to their place of business.
What about Saskia? Can't she just like swim in and open that secret passage you were talking about here?
Okay, so their shop is up on a cliff that you walk up to. So all
right, whatever.
I think your concept of what the space looks like is a little different than what I'm explaining.
Okay.
Yeah, the lower docks, the whaling ward, the whaling wharf, which is not an appropriate term anymore now that I learned what a wharf is. The whaling ward, we'll say, is down, low, at the water level, so they can transport the whales onto it from the dock, the pier, and it's like a significant height up. Like you're going up like 100 feet to get up to the De Leon's overlook. Because it's like pretty close to the lighthouse district, which is, goes super up high beyond that even.
And if it's built anything like the outer to business, it's pretty easy to destroy that building.
Well, no, it's solidly on
this
the
is
cliff.
not hanging.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah, you'd have to blow up the bedrock of the.
Oh,
I like
a little bit more juice.
Jaquette's had we have some evidence. We have the man upstairs who could testify that they booked us in. We could take them. I mean, obviously the Commodore will believe us. We go. You have your dust. But as we approach Bruce, perhaps you can take a look with your sense to see if there's any other hidden passages that they might be able to escape from. If so, we'll divide accordingly from there, but I'd say Fearn is the muscle behind Jaquette. And then the three of us go the opposite way, through the back.
There's not really a back way unless you go down along the piers.
You have to go down. My mistake.
When do you guys plan to do this? Are we going to scout it out first?
We're gonna go bathe in the waterfall and then head over there.
Yeah.
You guys will get some magic powers too.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
I'm just
Yeah, watch my
concerned
feet.
about the unknown is what bothers me, Sass. I don't not think that you're going to be getting powers, but at what cost?
It was fine the last time I drank the magic water. Just a
We
little
did
tired.
go a little power crazy.
Yeah, but it turned out all right. It'll be fine.
It'll be
well-
fine.
I don't know, guys.
But it's a valid point, Septimus. I hear you. I do. If it starts
Why
to get too...
don't we, for the time being, we need to I think I should let this sit a little bit more while I think of exactly the best way to tactically take out the De Leons. We can head to the Lighthouse District to take a look at this for yourself. And then after, we can decide exactly how we want to confront them.
Great.
Good.
That's a good plan. We've got the makings of a plan. Now we gotta let it breathe a little bit, and then we come back to it, and everything is gonna just click right into place. Yeah.
Right.
Jaquette gives a thumbs up.
So, what are you guys doing first? You're going to the waterfall?
Waterfall.
Jaquette's getting changed
Yeah.
and spends a little more time than everyone would like because he's trying to comb out the bits of lollipop that are still stuck in his chest fur.
Yeah, it's not great.
Hey, got rid of the demon spell.
Got rid of the
Jaquette
demon
wants
spell.
to complain, but he doesn't.
All right. Sounds
I'd like
good.
to like that could be a great joke going forward. Got a little like fiend dust on you, Jaquette. Here, There you go. Write that on there.
I
Right
go
on your
best.
face.
Right, that's funny. Okay. All right, so once Jacques comes down after grooming himself, you all can gather together to head over to the waterfall. So, Sass, you saw
Yeah.
where the waterfall was coming from.
Mhm.
It's like the side of the basalt cliffs, from probably just sort of an opening in the cliff side, coming from the interior where you were before. So you may have to find a way there, or are you just trying to find where you can touch the water, get close enough to the water?
I mean, I think I would look for a way there.
Mhm.
But then if that doesn't prove to be feasible, then I just want to touch it.
Okay. So let's say you guys all start to head towards the lighthouse district. Go ahead and give me a perception check, Sass, from a distance.
Jacques offers her his spyglass.
Even
so
better.
she can see better.
Piratey vibes.
So go ahead and give me it with advantage.
But give it back.
I wasn't gonna fucking steal it. Do I look cool? Tell me I look cool.
You look cool.
Natural 20 for a 25.
Okay.
That was because Fear helped you, saying you looked cool. Gave you
Yeah,
That
it's
was the
definitely
first roll. I didn't
inspiring.
even need the advantage.
Yeah.
So Sass,
Mhm.
you look and you can see it seems to be a natural opening in the cliffside where the water's coming out. But you know from your experience going to the old temple, that there are passageways up to these parts of the cliffs that are old, ancient actually, that are not really part of Hyven. They're just sort of remnants from when these temples were in use. That you could, if you got you could either like kind of climb along the side to get to one of these passages, or if you go down to the bottom of the base of the cliffs, you can climb up from these passages. Essentially, like cut stone steps into the side that sort of zigzag up the side of the basalt cliffs, that lead to these old temples that were built into the cliffside, like the one you killed Hastings in.
Got it. Right. So here's the deal.
My spyglass, please.
Yes, thank you very much. I got a real good look out of it. So it's going to be a bit of a hike to get there. We might have to do a little bit of climbing. But I also, without even drinking this magic water, I just woke up the other day. I can potentially float up there.
Eventually?
I can float up there. I haven't tried it yet, but I can. I'm fairly certain that I have the capability now to just whoop up there. So I could.
Yeah, you've only tried it out on like shells on the shore, just like floating those up
just
a little
like-
bit. You're not quite sure if it could hold you. I mean, obviously, meta-wise we do, but like Sass herself doesn't know if she could lift herself.
I'm saying this with way more confidence than than I have any right to.
Magic is nice and all, but what's the fun in that? You should climb. We should race.
We should race.
Yeah,
Or
see who
race
gets
up the
to the
side?
top first.
You want to bet on it?
I don't hate this idea. Sure, why not? I could also, to make it easier for the people that don't want to, I can take like a rope and something up there and nail it in so that you can climb up easier.
How high up is the opening that we're trying to get to? The waterfall?
The opening that you're trying to get to is probably like 200 and change up there from what Sass could see.
All right, everyone, let's get our ropes out.
Oh yeah, do you?
I
Tie
have
your
50
ropes together.
feet of hempen rope. How much hempen rope do you have?
Oh wait,
I've
Smith,
got,
I can.
let's see.
I don't think I can go up very high. I can go up 20 feet.
Can I just stay down here?
Come on, Septimus, don't you want to see what
Have a
Saskia's
drink.
patron is up to?
Or drink from the waterfall. It might be
Or
really
stop us
good.
when we inevitably do something stupid?
Yeah.
That too.
I
You're a
have
voice of reason, Septimus.
I pull out pitons and hammers and say we can make safety lines just in case you're a little nervous about climbing.
I have some of those too.
I can help you out, Septimus. Maybe? Hold on. Maybe not.
You probably got the best grip out of all of us.
Yeah, no, I can.
Well,
Also, Septimus, you have 3 arms. You got a pretty good shot.
Unless you want to hop in a bag of holding.
No, in die.
You got like 10 minutes of air. How long can you hold your breath?
I don't think it's 10 minutes.
What's your constitution
typically
modifier?
It sounds like you should replace your lungs.
Next project.
Okay, so you guys are going to head over to climb up there. Do you guys?
Yeah.
Are you gonna
Me
do
and
rope?
Fear and erase
Do you
it.
have enough rope?
I assume we all have 50 feet of hempen rope,
Yeah,
correct?
Should all have it.
Yeah.
Which is
I
enough
have
to-
silk rope and hempen rope.
What is Saskia getting up to with silk rope?
Yeah, wouldn't you like to know?
That's why I asked, yeah.
Yes, you guys can tie all your ropes together and you'll have 250 feet of rope.
Beautiful.
Dope.
Alrighty, so you are.
And silver?
Are we betting? Who's going to get to the top first?
Yep. I bet on
Are you
myself.
Are you only allowed to bet on yourself?
You can bet on someone else.
bet
If
on
multiple
myself.
people bet on someone else, then we split the pot. Everyone that wants to bet puts in 10 silver, and whoever wins gets the pot, or they split it if multiple.
I had enough betting last night. I just want to win.
I bet on myself.
I bet on myself.
I bet on myself.
Okay.
So winner gets 30 silver.
No magic.
Sal, and then Jacquet. Everyone gives their silver to
I
Sal.
didn't agree to that, Fear.
If you
I
want to
didn't
use
agree to that
magic,
either.
use magic. I'll beat you bitches either way.
Oh boy.
Oh, I can't wait to wipe that smirk off your fucking face.
Okay, so a lot of you can head to the. You can head to the base of the cliffs. It's a short walk from the harbor to along the coastline. It does get a little rocky at one point. You actually remember that this is this is actually pretty close to where Jacquet did his first job for the De Leon brothers. So when you get to the base of the cliffside, it is quite volatile. There's waves crashing up against it. You're not really on flat ground. You're on really rocky ground. Like, think about any time you go on like a jetty, and it's like you have to like kind of like carefully move amongst the rocks. The tide is quite high right now, so there's not a super safe place to stand as you start. But as long as you're careful and take your time, you won't get sucked into a riptide into the ocean. When you fall, who knows? You might die. This is not really a great place to fall, so everyone be careful. But you do get to an area where you do see that you're below the waterfall. Everyone would feel essentially like a very like gentle rain almost, because it's not like such a strong waterfall that you're getting a full flow all the way to the ocean. It eventually just sort of turns into this rainy mist that hits the bottom. So you do feel it. You are able to feel the water here. And Sass, each drop that hits your face fills you with a desire to get to the source. It feels like a hug each drop that comes to you.
Sweet fucking great.
But it's like getting like a sample of something, but you want the full thing.
Yeah. Well, in that case, Sean, I would like to cast.
Whoa,
Dimension door?
wait.
Okay.
Are you guys just? We need to. You get there. Are you guys gonna do any kind of get ready, go?
Yeah.
Get ready,
Fearn's tying ropes together, and he's getting his pittons out, and his hammer, and he's tying the pittons to the rope so that way he can easily just pull them out. And he's got the whole roll of everyone's ropes on his back, like all neatly rolled up, so that way it doesn't get tangled as he climbs. And he's taking this. It looks like he's taking this very seriously. He's like doing it clinically.
Yeah. Fear absolutely like the responsible one right now. Being like, I gotta make sure this is safe.
Has like rolled up his sleeves. He looks like he's ready to get physically exercisingly wise.
Yeah, Sass is just dancing in the rain.
Yeah, just kind of like saying, like talking to myself, but talking to her, just being like, oh, you've got something special up there. I'm gonna go get it. I'm going right now.
Bruce, are you doing anything as you're getting ready?
Bruce is just kind of like he's just stretching his arms a little bit, rotating his arm, and he's got Lolly Rock on him, and yeah, he's not really doing much of anything. He's just kind of hanging out.
I would ask that maybe we roll initiative.
Don't worry, I was going to ask for initiative rolls. Yeah. That's why I stopped you guys before Sass cast anything.
Right.
We're gonna do initiative for this. I imagine after there's I actually even imagine that maybe like Septimus, who doesn't really want to climb, is the one who's like, get ready, set. Can I get those initiative rolls here?
15.
20.
12.
17.
Okay. All right. So, you all get ready. You're at the base here. I imagine like those of you who are not using magic are like getting yourself a good spot, a good starting position on the rocks. Septimus, are you climbing up, or are you just kind of hanging out down at the base with to start the race?
I'm gonna hang out at the bottom to start the race.
Yeah, Septimus, would you like to?
I don't know how Sal's gonna get up there.
Yeah, Sal could probably climb, but it would be he's not going to be able to climb that well.
He's holding the pot.
Septimus, do you want to bet on anyone who's going to win the race?
No.
All right, so Septimus, you can initiate the race. And who got the 20? Sorry, I didn't write the names down next to these. Fearn.
Jacques got 20.
I got
Saskia at
17.
12, right?
Yeah, I'm last.
Okay. All right. So, as soon as Septimus gets this started, Jacques, you'll get to go first.
Now, to see who is the most athletic of Iron and Mana, on your marks.
Are we all lined up, like next to each other?
On your marks. Get ready. Climb!
I trip immediately.
Jacques, what do you do?
Jacques leaps forward, taking out his...
it provokes an attack of opportunity. I attack Jacques.
He casts Sentinel, or he uses Sentinel. No, go ahead, Jacques.
Jacques technically is not moving, as it's more for flavor that he leaps. More for flavor, as he takes out his
crossbow.
No,
nope. The doorway scepter, as it's always like hiding as the... I fucking can't think. Thieves' tools. That's what, as the thief tools in his jacket pocket, but he pulls it out, making the full scepter, and he casts Dimension Door.
Oh, fuck you.
All right. As he does that, Fearn, you shout out, "Magic is cheating." Fearn, you can go ahead and start climbing.
Okay. Yeah, I just start climbing. I'm going good old fashioned. Honestly, it doesn't look like Fearn is like rushing, but you can tell that he's like putting in a lot of effort. Like he's being a good mountain climber, essentially. He's not skipping any like steps for safety.
Yep. Fiona, go ahead and give me an athletics check.
Sure.
Because I will say, for those of you doing regular old climbing, this is considered a slippery surface because there is a waterfall above.
I got a 16, Sean.
Okay, Fiona, you're doing swell. You're doing okay. It's tough. It's tough, and you're definitely going to be really tired when you get to the top. But you're able to climb. It's just going to go pretty slow because you can only move half your movement speed as you're going up.
I am going to use my bonus action to Stone Room Charm. So I am in a prophetic state, and what I can re-roll saving throws or ability checks as a reaction.
Magic
so
is
can I
cheating.
re-roll that to see?
Yes,
if
I'll
I
allow you to re-roll that. Yeah.
So 26 now.
Okay. So it is not that difficult for you, and you've saved yourself from an exhaustion check at the top.
Nice.
Because I was gonna have you do that if you got 16. Okay, Fionn, you're climbing, and it's fun. It's like, I imagine, Sass, you go, oh, like, what do you say when you see Jacquette's teleport up there before you get a chance to?
Oh, fuck you. That was my fucking move.
Okay, as she's saying that, Bruce, what do you do?
So it's a pretty wet surface, right?
Yep.
All right, so Sean, I didn't say this earlier, but one of my known infusions is still a bag of holding.
Mm-hmm.
If it's okay, can I have retroactively made another bag of holding? Temporary one.
Do you have another?
I
Do you have another infusion?
I have another sack.
Then yeah, absolutely.
No, I don't have any more infusions. My current ones are Homunculus Servant, and then the Cloak of Elvenkind, which Jacquette has, and then the other one's just been floating.
Cool.
So
yeah, oh, that's right, because you have a real bag of holding. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So I don't need to
totally.
use that
Yeah, that's no problem.
All right, so I am going to take out that bag.
Oh my god!
All right.
What are you doing?
These are my favorite Alex moments.
Wait.
All right, and yep.
No, keep going. I'm just very concerned right now.
Okay, so
because you're holding 2 bags of holding in your hands.
correct.
Ooh.
Okay. As long as you're not putting one in the other.
One of them down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just like, as long as you don't put them in each other or one in the other, we're gonna be okay. All right. What are you doing?
In the campaign, Alex, you won't.
Yeah, I'm gonna give my bag to Septimus. My real one.
It's not gonna end the campaign. It's gonna end the campaign for Bruce. He's gonna be in another plane of existence or in the astral sea with all of his stuff. It's not gonna be like the time Wiswick went in the astral sea where you could easily get him back.
So I'm gonna cast air bubble on myself. And I'm going to hop inside the temporary bag and then have Lollyrock fly me up.
What's Lollyrock's flying speed?
30.
Nice.
It won't take me that long. All right, so it'll take me a while, but
How much
Well,
can
I'll get
Lollyrock
there.
carry? What's the weight Lollyrock can carry?
It's probably still faster than me.
It would be, because you're gonna have to move half speed.
let's see.
I forgot that a homunculus is a real thing. I just googled homunculus and was hoping I would just bring this up. Let's see.
I don't know, Sean.
If it's like a regular familiar, it's usually like a 5 pound, like a mage hand.
Oh, okay.
So bag of holding weighs 15 pounds.
Yes.
Nope. It has a strength score of 4, which means it can carry up to 30 pounds.
Oh!
Could carry both of the bags, and you could just see what happens.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's right. Good thing we did say that, because you were going to put a bag of holding in a bag of holding.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you leave one with
really
Septimus.
send this campaign sideways.
So Septimus is holding onto one of your bags of holding.
So
Yeah,
he
okay.
actually jumped in this bag of holding and had Lollyrock fly him up.
Yeah.
That's 100% what he does.
Amazing. Amazing.
So how do you fit in the bag of holding? Like,
Because Bruce is tiny.
right, but
well,
the
Bruce
bubble
is small.
is
Bruce is
not
small.
as tiny.
A
Like, how do
bag-
you get the bubble not to pop?
The air bubble?
Air bubble is a spell.
I think you're asking a lot of pointed questions for a game about fantasy magic.
All right.
Yeah, and plus I always imagined bags of holding like it sort of to quote our game this weekend, Stefan kind of like
slurp.
just slurps things into it and
Slurp
shrinks
full.
them down. So yes, I like to imagine bags of holding don't have like a big space in them. Actually, it actually is the bag space. It just shrinks everything that goes into it. But anyway, yes, Lollyrock carries you up in your little carriage.
Miss Frizzle over here.
You definitely didn't need to cast air bubble because it doesn't get. It's not gonna take 10 minutes for Lollyrock to get up there.
Oh, you know, just in case.
But just in case, fair.
What if it's ice cold in there, like the vacuum of space?
Can you?
Bruce definitely has checked it out. It's
This
probably
is just for fun.
I'm
Can
messing with
you
that.
roll me a d20, Alex?
yeah, you got it.
Just for fun
Bruce
complications,
got
maybe.
it. 12.
Okay.
He
If you had
comes
got,
back out and his regular body is fine, but his head is just really tiny.
I was gonna say if you got a nat 1, I was gonna have Lollyrock drop the
Damn,
bag.
I was just picturing like your whole body's in the bag, but your head's like outside, like the opening. Yeah.
I actually really love that, but I think that would exceed the weight capacity. No, I was gonna have
brain energy.
If it got a nat 1, I was gonna have the bag fall, and then like when it lands, it would like rip, and Bruce would just get spit out of the bag.
Right, yeah.
Amazing.
All right, Sass. You see Fearn climbing like a normal person. You see Lollyrock. Check. Jacquette's already up there. What do you do?
Well, after tripping, I get up and look at my hands that are now scraped, and it's fine. It's gonna be worth it. I dimension tour up there myself.
Yep. So Jacquette, I imagine you're like because first of all, when you get up there, I guess I should describe this for you now that you're all on your way up there. It's a cave opening, so it's not like a built opening that has like a nice entrance. It's just a cave that has water flowing out of it. But it is quite large enough for you to stand completely up in. It probably has like a 7-foot tall ceiling, so even Fearn's horns might scrape against the top. But yeah, Jacquette, when you get up there, you imagine you're just sort of like leaning against the wall, waiting for Sass with a smug look. As Sass, you would get up there, and there's just this flowing river, and it's a waterfall. It's not like just sort of a little trickling stream. It's like a flow. You can hear the running water of it. It's kind of like a brook that is flowing out of this. And then just turns into this cascading waterfall that would have had nice little rainbows on it too.
Is it like a cavern?
It is, yes.
Like a cave? Does it look like the one I've been seeing?
No.
Okay.
I mean, it has the similar aesthetic, but it's not the cave that you've been seeing in your dreams.
Got it. All right, so I into existence and just very much scowling at that smug look. I know you could fucking do dimension. I'm not gonna say that this assassin doesn't know that. I know you could fucking do that. Where did you learn to do that?
It's all in the. It's this. Jacquet just gestures with his doorway scepter. I could have sworn you've seen me use it before. I use it in my performances a lot. I do the thing where I make the past wall and I come through. It's
Well, it's not fair. I'm not giving you my 10 silver.
I'm sorry.
Thought that was stage magic, not real magic.
You hear
The illusion.
you hear shouted from 50 feet down.
You
Actually,
use magic too. How is
Yeah.
that fair?
Yeah, because I was the only one who was gonna be. I was gonna be the first one up here, That's the way it was supposed to go. You fucked up my plan.
You suddenly hear mechanical wings flapping. Chirp, 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 chirp.
That is my favorite thing ever.
As Lollyrock comes flying in and lands and drops the bag of holding.
And then you just see Bruce.
Jacquet put his foot next to it.
Yeah, Bruce just come puking out of it.
Yeah.
As you look over the edge and Fearn is halfway up.
Sean, when I get to 60 feet, I want to throw an axe up, and that's attached to a rope, and like use that to help me.
Yeah, I'll allow that. And then eventually, Fearn pulls himself up. Septimus, you're still down below.
I'm just chatting with Sal. Be like, so
Jacquet shouts down real quick. Jacquet won, so when we come back
No.
down...
Subtract my silver from that. He's not getting it from me. He's got enough.
That's not how bets work, Saskia. You're being a
That's-
sore loser.
You're a loser.
I win. You're all disqualified.
You
None
didn't
of you
bet,
climbed.
so you didn't bet, so you don't get a say.
I didn't
Alright.
see who got here first. I was in the back.
Septimus, you just see Sal, like, he's holding the 30 silver in his palm, and he's just, like, with one finger, like, pointing at each one and counting it. But yes, you can see a dark cave ahead of you.
Do I feel pull to go deeper into the cave or just to be near the water that's flowing?
Like I said, you are pulled towards the source of the water.
Source. Okay.
Mhm.
Right.
There's like a nice little like scintillating light in here as some of the light is
Yeah.
bouncing off the water from the opening of the cave, creating that
Mm.
effect on the ceiling. Like when there's
Do I
lights within water.
Do I see my lights? The
Yes. Yes, I would say there is just generally an aura to the water
Mhm.
that you can see. And I'll actually say, for the more perceptive of the rest of you, so say anyone with a 14 or higher passive perception would notice just a little bit of an aurora borealis effect within the water that then kind of is reflecting this very dim light on the ceiling. Like not bright enough to really like turn it into dim light. It's still a dark cave, but it's enough that if you're perceptive, you can see this very, very faint glowing of everything.
Right. So I'm seeing the lights. We need to go further in.
Jacquet lights his lantern.
I'm gonna stay by the entrance.
Don't you want to see what's in there?
Yeah, I'll send all the rock. Actually, yeah. All right, I do.
Hopefully there's no crabs this time.
Maybe I should stay here.
I'm kidding. I'm just kidding. That
Come
was
with
a-
us,
No, come with us.
Bruce.
All right.
Have some fun.
I just
Fearn summons his maul and walks in first.
No, Fear. Let me go first.
All right.
Okay, so marching order, we have
Me.
Sass. So again, there's this little brook in the middle, and then like there's enough space on each side for people to walk on. One person to walk on each side. You unless you want to walk in the water, it doesn't look super deep. It probably would come up to your knees. Bruce, it would probably be waist deep for you. The sides are pretty rocky though, so you're gonna have to watch your step. It is not like just a path in. It's almost like a cut V into the ground. So you'll have to be a little careful with it. I would say it's all difficult terrain for purposes of like mechanics.
I think, Sean, I would start walking on the rocky sides and then be like, nah, and I'm gonna jump in and start walking in the water.
Yeah, Sass, it's
And
not
just-
difficult terrain for you when you're in the water.
Cool.
So Sass would, even if she's not waiting for you guys, would be getting ahead of you. All right,
Saskia, wait up.
Come on, walk in the water. It's not that bad.
No,
It's
thank
nice,
you.
actually.
I can't really see in the water.
Oh right, yeah. Sorry.
So marching order wise, I imagine maybe Fearn's on one side, Jacquette's on the other, and Bruce, you're with one of them.
Yeah, I'm definitely like hanging on to Fearn.
Okay.
Jacquet will be in the furthest back, so his light kind of gives everyone.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah, and Fearn's trying to keep up with Saskia the best he can.
Okay. It's getting harder and harder, and if Sass doesn't slow down, she is 100% going to get far enough ahead that she's out of the light. But she has double sight, so it doesn't matter for her, but you will lose sight of her. Okay, so I've got the marching order. Is anyone doing any kind of perception checks or anything like that?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, let's hear them. Let's hear them. Sass, are you doing that, or are you just going?
We're just going.
Okay. All right, Fearn, what'd you get?
Rolling now. I got a 13.
Okay. Bruce?
I'm on high alert. I got a 20, and I'm going to add 5 to that for 25.
Woo-wee. Jacquet?
A 13, but as a reminder, the bullseye lantern has 60 feet of bright and then 60 feet of dim.
Okay, so then Sass wouldn't get so far ahead that you couldn't see her. She would just get hard to track when she's in the dim light. Right. If you don't keep up with her, which
and then
will take a while.
Our dark vision would make the dim light as bright light. So.
Okay, well, everyone but Bruce can keep seeing Saskia.
Cool.
Mm-hmm. All right, Bruce. It's about halfway into this cave, and like this cave goes pretty deep into the mountain or the cliffside. Like it's not like you're just walking for 30 feet and you find something. Like you're going into the heart of the. You might even think this is where the crab people were coming from in that cave that you saw in the original one. But Bruce, the 25, it's about 30, 35 feet into the cave that you would you wouldn't see this. You would hear it. You would hear just like a very, very faint scuttling from behind you, actually.
Bruce, what was that? What was that?
As soon as you stop and say, "What
that?
is that?" you can't hear the scuttling anymore.
Fear, did you hear that? Fear.
What?
Behind us.
Can I use a ranged attack and just hit the wall behind me with the ranged spell attack, ranged attack from my maul, just randomly hitting to scare whatever it is off?
Sure.
Okay.
Give me an attack roll. You see nothing but rocks.
Yeah.
Even you, Bruce, like you're with your tremor sense, everything looks like rocks here.
Does a 28 hit nothing?
Fearn, you do toss your rock like this, and you did a ranged attack with the boulder, so it's just a boulder going through a bunch of rocky areas, and it does hit something. As it's hitting through the rocks, you can see it hits a particular rock, and the rock separates from the wall, but not like a rock being chipped off, like a creature that was disguising itself as a rock who was like holding on to it. As you can see, basically a crab that looked just like a rock kind of gets splayed off of it and sort of like, and it's like it almost has like a dizzy look to it as it's like hits the ground, and then just sort of like freezes, and then very quickly doesn't move from the spot it landed in, just pulls all its legs in, pulls everything in, and it looks like a rock again.
Huh. Saskia, wait up! I found something.
I keep going.
Fearn wants to go back for the rock, but he says, "Oh shit!" He just turns around and chases Saskia still.
Wait.
Yeah.
Bonus action to recall the rock.
Okay. So, Sass, as you're going through ahead of them, you start to hear a very quiet humming noise, like someone humming a song, a woman humming a song. Just sort of a very lovely and that then occasionally might even go into a little like vocalization, not words, just sort of a, one could call it a siren's call as you're going in. And the aurora is becoming more prevalent. But everyone, you can still, like I said, you can keep in check with Saskia. But eventually, Saskia, you find a place where there's a greater chamber. You can see, so you can see where the brook is coming from is from a pool of water that seems to be raised up a little bit. You essentially find a mouth to a greater cave where the water is flowing down from a higher area, almost like a higher stage. So it's probably about like a 30-foot tall cave with a lot of stalactites poking down, dripping into a pool that is, it's almost like a crater where there's a pool inside of a raised crater in front of you. You're below the top, like the line of the crater. And the water's basically overflowing from the crater. And that is creating sort of this small pool that encircles it like a ring that then pours out down this cave. So when you're looking at the crater, at first it just looks like this bulge of water self-pouring out of nothing. But it's just the water overflowing from the crater.
Okay. Is it glowing like the magic crab water was?
Yes. So this room is actually lit in dim light. And those of you, I'd say a couple seconds later, would start to be able to see the light from the end of that cave and know that that's the chamber.
I would feel and correct me if I'm wrong, like I'd want to climb up into that crater, but I'm gonna like stop myself for a second and wait for them to catch up.
Yeah, and like the crater is high enough, the wall of the crater, that you can't actually like see over it. So like there's a pool of water in there, but you don't know what else is in the water.
Yeah.
But it sounds like the melody is coming from there. You all also hear the melody.
Did the pull get any stronger as we get closer?
Yeah, I'm gonna actually say that it's not even just the pull that gets stronger. Sass, once you stop to wait for them, you see that your necklace is floating off of your neck and pointing.
That's cool. Yeah. Huh. Okay. Once they're up with me. Right. So I'm assuming you can see this, and just showing them the necklace. I want to get up there. I need to get up there. So I'm gonna levitate up there, and I'll let you know what's there. Yeah.
Okay. I was gonna say, why don't you just climb? But
I don't want to.
Touché.
So then I will.
Do you want company?
I was already like being impatient enough, like waiting for you guys to get there. So like I've already cast levitate on myself, and I'm just. Can I control it?
You can. It's like a
right.
Yeah. It's
Okay,
slow,
so
but you can control it.
That's fine. I didn't want to like just skyrocket. I wanted to slowly like rise up and peek over the edge.
Sean, I'm gonna misty step to the top, and then when she gets slowly close, I like grab her hand and pull her in.
Yeah. Okay. So Fionn kind of like misty steps to the edge of the crater, and like as you're rising up, and puts a hand down for you to lift you up.
And
she's kind of like she's spacewalking. Like when you grab her hand and pull her up, she sort of like floats up faster, and then it's kind of like gently lands on the.
And
edge
Bruce,
of the crater.
that was hugging onto my leg, just falls into the water.
We'll figure out what Bruce is doing when he gets back. Jacquet, down below in the kind of that moat area that's around it, you would notice that there are several of these small crabs in the water, just sort of crawling around. So you notice when one of them actually crawls over your foot.
Stupid. And Jacquet's going to circle this crater, keeping the other party members in his line of sight, but just kind of exploring the space.
Give me an investigation check.
Ooh.
And then once I just want to clarify where Bruce is when he gets back.
11.
11. Okay, so generally, this is all it's rocky, nondescript. The water is for all of you. This is something for all of you. Like, it's salt water. Like, it's certainly seawater, even though it's coming from the groundwater sources. And there is like seaweed at the base of this moat going around that shouldn't be here. Either it's growing unnaturally or it's been brought here. And there's an abundance of life within the water as you're walking. Like, the more you walk, you're disturbing a rock, and suddenly you'll see several little minnows swim out of it, or you might see another crab show itself, or other strange creatures. Bruce, so Sass and Fearn are up at the edge, at the top of this crater. Would you have followed them? Would you have stayed with them? He's circling the moat around it, sort of the side part, but keeping everyone in his line of sight. Like I said, you can hear that humming melody, like a siren, coming from the geyser, or not geyser, the crater. And you see there's an abundance of like crabs and sea life in the water, like little tiny organisms.
Probably would hang out with Jacquet and then sit in Lolly Rock with Fearn.
Okay. So Sass and Fearn and Lolly Rock, what you see is this overflowing water. And the crater, definitely like a crater, sinks to a really deep center. And you can see, even though the water's glowing, it's quite clean and clear. Just like how Jacquet can see the little crabs crawling over his feet. You guys can see that within this crater, seemingly sleeping, are a large number of the crab people. They are not moving. They are under the water, in sort of little piles. You can see there are some of those rock crabs that you saw outside, kind of just crawling over the piles of them, and you can see simply cleaning them, and just like at first you think they're dead, but then you see a few of them sort of move their bodies around a little bit. And Sass, you can see your necklace is now, where it was pointing upward towards the crater, is now pointed downwards towards the center of the crater.
Is there any sign of who the voice belongs to?
Nope. Once you get up here, it seems almost like it's emanating from the water itself.
Got it.
Like maybe it's in the water, and it
water.
comes out from it.
Okay. I think I need to swim.
How many are we talking, Sean?
Over 20.
I need to go down there. I need to swim. That's where I'll say, like, that's where I need to go. That's where she wants me to go. Like, that one sentence right after the other. See?
All right. Let's not rush into this. We can think about this. It's important. I don't want you to die in here.
No.
Okay?
No. She
Take
wanted
it
me
slow.
to go. She wanted me to go here. It's okay. It's gonna be okay.
You're right. It is gonna be okay. But let's do this smart. Let's not trust blind faith.
But Fearn, do you see? That's where my necklace. It's pointed. That's where I need to go.
If you're going down there, I'm going with you.
But I don't want to stop you. But I have a feeling. I don't know. I can't explain it. But I think maybe if someone who's not me goes in the water, it's gonna wake up the people sleeping.
You're gonna wake up the people sleeping.
I don't think so. I don't think I'm going to. Why would
Did those crabs help you out the last time? We had to fight them off in order for you to get to their precious water, remember?
I think it's gonna be okay.
It's not gonna be okay. You've done this before.
It's gonna be fine.
I grab her shirt. You have to listen to me.
Fearn. And I put my hand over yours. It's gonna be fine.
Fearn lets go and then immediately puts the mask down and says, let's go then.
Let me go first.
I'll be right behind you.
I will.
Before you do that,
Okay. Yep.
Jacquet and Bruce, as you're bounding around the circle, first of all, Bruce, once you start doing this with Jacquet, like the two of you could hear Fearn and Saskia whispering up there, but Bruce, your tremor sense, you can see these crabs. You can see the crab people inside the because your tremor sense gives you just enough to be able to see some of them at the edges, in there. And it's the second you notice that, though, is also the moment that you and Jacquet kind of round a corner or a bend and see another grouping of them, like in these like sleeping piles on the opposite side from the cave entrance you came in, where they seem to be sort of piled up near another cave entrance that you assume probably goes deeper into their territory.
Jacquet,
There's
there are
4 of
crabs
them.
everywhere.
I see them. Wait, there's more?
Yeah. Yeah, down there.
Where
I don't like
Saskia
this.
wants to go?
Yeah. Bruce is just gonna message both Fearn and Saskia. Like, there's a lot of crabs. I don't think we should be here.
No, Bruce, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be fine. I'm supposed to go down there. It's fine.
She's not making sense.
Well, maybe when Saskia drank from the font, her patron got control of these creatures. I mean, who are we to say what's possible?
It's true, but we're going blind here.
Bruce, something falls on your shoulder. Do you scream?
Yeah.
Yeah. Bruce screams as a little crab falls off of the ceiling onto your shoulder and starts to crawl on your body.
Ah!
Jacquet whirls with his crossbow and is like, "What is it? What happened?"
As another crab then falls and lands on the back of Jacquet and starts crawling across his back.
By the heavens!
Get it off! Get it off!
I don't like these things.
I want to put a boot in the water.
Okay. As you put your boot in the water, what you notice first is that as your boot approaches the water, parts of the water almost are attracted to your boot. There's almost a reverse dripping, like a reverse gravity, where drops are coming to your boot. And then as you dip it in, it feels cold, frigid cold, but it's nice. But it's nice in a way that they tell you to be afraid of, though, when you're in the cold. You know how they say stories where someone's like, I laid in the snow and I felt warm and I fell asleep, and then they never wake up.
Yeah. I have resistance to cold. It's fine.
Yeah. This is much more of a feeling than a mechanic.
Yeah.
But it is the kind of thing that might affect others differently.
Fear and wait. It's cold.
Who do you take me for?
No. I forgot about that. No, but it's like I can't explain it. But I feel like if anyone other than me puts their foot in the water, bad things will happen.
Fear takes his foot, kicks it out in front, is dangling it over the water right now.
Please.
Like literally taunting you.
And I'm not smiling, even though Shannon's smiling. Just let me go first.
If one of those things moves, I'm coming in and I'm getting you out.
Okay.
Fear's ready. I'm preparing an action.
Okay.
I put my other boot in.
Okay. And you just slide in?
Yeah.
For everyone else, the siren song stops. The cave is suddenly quiet. Other than squirming of Jacquette and Bruce getting crabs off their bodies.
Ew.
Sass, the song stays for you.
Okay.
Give me a perception check. See if you can find what you're looking for.
Oh. Can I have advantage because I like water?
Since you're fulfilling the lore of your class and backstory, I'll give you a point of inspiration that you can use here.
I'm going to use it right now because I rolled a 2.
Mm-hmm.
That's better. Dirty 20.
Okay. So if you did roll a 2, it's going to be really difficult. You're going to have to get in with the crabs to find what you're looking for. But you notice now as you're kind of because this is deep enough where you can actually kind of free swim for a little bit.
Okay.
So
it's not like I'm not touching the crab people. It's is it deep?
No,
is it really deep?
It's a bowl, but it's a really sharp decline.
Okay.
So you for a couple seconds you're touching the wall of it.
Yeah.
But then you can kind of push yourself off and not be touching anything.
Got it. Okay.
And it's probably 15 feet deep where the crabs start.
All right. That was
because they're kind of it's very, very wide, the circumference of it. And they're all kind of gathered at the base where you imagine what you're looking for is, and you see it. It's in the middle of all of them.
Of course.
Is what appears to be a little shrine they've built. And you can see it is a female figure formed of stones stacked up on each other, and other adornments with a little bit of carvings, and seaweed that has been fashioned to be this hair. You can see that seaweed kind of flows out. A striking resemblance to something, but in the hands, where there are sort of these rough carved hands holding out like this, there appears to be something like a rod of sorts that is in the hands, made of driftwood, with several other coral and shells all adorned into the top of it. It's almost like someone took a shell and hammered it into driftwood to form this head that is, and then has natural sea life growing off of it. You can see some kelp coming off of it. You can see there's crabs, little tiny crabs crawling all over it. But the crab people literally are all around it.
If I were to swim down to get it, I would have to
you'd have to
push through them.
You wouldn't have to push through them. You just would have to try not to disturb them.
Yeah. Okay.
If you didn't want them to wake up.
Yep. Is the necklace pulling towards it?
Oh yeah. To the point where you can feel it now.
Yeah.
It's pulling, you can feel pressure on your neck.
All right. Okay. And I will slowly swim and feet up towards the surface and head down towards the shrine and arms out. Try and go pluck it.
Yeah, give me a sleight of hand just to avoid any disturbances.
17.
17, okay. As you swim down, you carefully avoid knocking any of the sculpture over. You can reach your hand down. I mean, you're like all people, you're naturally buoyant, so like you're like your legs are pulled upward as you're swimming down, and you can put your hand to the rod if you.
Yeah.
As you do so, the singing stops entirely.
Okay.
And is replaced. And it sounds like it's coming from the statue. Is a loud shriek that goes through the water. Everyone outside of the water would hear this shriek as muffled from beneath the water, and you'd see the water start to almost bulge over, like something is rising from the water, and its wake is increasing, and the water starts to flood over into it. Jacquette and Bruce, the water starts to rapidly rise around you, to the point where you're starting to be lifted up by it.
I'm leaving. I'm leaving. Jacquette will grab Bruce's hand and just starts going, okay, we're done here. Good luck.
Right. And it's as you say that, as you say that to Bruce, the two of you, because Jacquette, you're like, it's that kind of height of water where you have to trudge through it.
Right.
You both turn around and see the crab people who are at that other entrance are all standing up and looking at you.
Oh, God. Well,
Saskia,
okay.
You basically see all the eyes of the crabs beneath there all open at once as you're holding this rod amongst the middle of them. They're all staring at you.
Oh, it's okay. I'm supposed to.
Sean, I had a ready action for when this happened.
They haven't moved.
They opened their eyes.
Okay. What is your ready
That's
action?
enough for me. I'm casting the ability of my mask, the halting presence, which allows me to force every creature within 60 feet of me to make a DC 16 Wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
Get them dice out.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just going to do a group one for them. So, they fail, so they're afraid of you.
Yes!
But they all sort of flock to you, Saskia, in this fear. Almost like for protection. As you see a small one kind of crawls up and like grabs onto you, and you're like, oh shit, but then it just kind of like this is one of the tiny ones that's like the size of a dog. Just sort of crawls onto your back and like looks over your shoulder at Fearn above the water.
I think it's okay. No, this is right. This is what's supposed to be happening. It's fine. It's okay. It's okay.
Fearn can't hear you.
That's right. So underwater.
If he was underwater, he could hear you because of your abilities.
Yeah. I'd still say that regardless.
I mean, if she's surrounded by crabs and they're crawling on her,
they're not doing. No, there's only one that's crawling on her. The rest of them are just looking to her.
Can I'll say to the crowd, I think I'm supposed to take this. May I?
They all look at you, and you can see a few of their eyes just sort of moving independently of each other. Who couldn't love that face as they're looking up at you? And they all sort of, for lack of a better way to put it, prostrate. What's that word? Prostrate?
Yeah.
Prostrate?
Yeah, you got it.
I keep saying prostate when I try to say that word.
It's prostrate.
They all like almost
one.
They kneel.
They kneel basically to you.
They hail to the king, baby.
And several of them just part so that there's an open path away from this.
Wow. Okay. Then I will start swimming back upwards with this scepter.
As you start to swim upwards, the water is still sort of bulging out and filling the chamber. Fear, and you're actually starting to have trouble standing at the edge. Like the water's pushing you back. But you're strong enough to keep your footing for now. The crabs don't follow you because, not even necessarily because of Fearn's fear. They just are allowing you to leave with what they might believe belongs to you based on this. Fearn and Bruce, or I'm sorry, not Fearn, Jacquet and Bruce, as you're moving away, those crabs are moving closer to you. But they are not like chasing you. They're just moving closer as if to investigate as they come around. But then as soon as Saskia breaks the water, all four of them look up to her and drop their weapons. Like they had like a trident. One of them had a trident. One of them had like a shell shield. And they just drop all their weapons and look up. And you can hear this like chittering noise come from them towards her. As there's this weird feeling, Saskia, that all eyes are on you in a reverent way.
Yeah.
So I'm noticing that they're like letting her go, right?
Yeah, 100%.
So like I lift up the mask, it disappears, canceling out the effect. And well, they would be making saving throws normally, but whatever.
As you break the water, though, Sass, it starts to settle back down, and the crab people who are out of the water had stopped in their tracks, as they're there, and then just sort of like out of like holes in the ceilings of the caves, just innumerable crabs, tiny crabs, start to crawl out of it. And then you can see some like floating little like jellyfish start to come out. The whole chamber starts to light up more as every sea creature in this chamber is crawling out. And Jacquet and, well, Bruce, you're being kind of like dragged in the water by Jacquet. You're kind of like floating. You feel all the little creatures in the water start to crawl over your feet as they're all heading towards Saskia.
And I'll kind of like cast levitate again, and just kind of like levitate above the pool, holding this scepter and just kind of like wide-eyed staring at, like, I'm not scared per se. I'm just drinking it all in and trying to make sense of everything that's happening, that these things want to be near me, that like I'm almost not like almost commanding them but not, and like so I'm just like very wide-eyed, just drinking it all in.
What the hell is happening, Saskia?
It's like ridiculous. Like there's like a plopping noise as like a freaking octopus comes out of like an opening. Like there's a lot of creatures here. You can see the crabs are all the crab people are all awake down there, and some of them now are coming up closer to you. They're not attacking, but they're just sort of like you see their eyes poke out of the water and are watching you. As the ones that were outside of it, the guards, so to speak, who were sleeping on the job, they just kind of like crawl up onto the side of the crater and are almost like at 4 points of the crater looking up to you. And they have picked their weapons back up, and they actually just sort of like hold them up towards you, not in a threatening way, but in almost like a salute.
Yeah. I don't understand. What's the necklace doing?
Necklace, now you have the rod in your hands, the necklace is back down and regular.
I feel so... Are you all seeing this? Like, you're all seeing this, right? This isn't in my head?
No, yeah. There's thousands of crabs all around us. It's kind of hard not to miss it.
I was just checking I wasn't dreaming.
You gonna tell them to fuck off, or what?
They're my friends. They're my friends. Can't you see? They want to be near me.
And you want that?
Yeah. They want to be here.
Well, tell them to slow down the water. It's getting rough over here.
The water has slowed at this point.
I'll then start floating. Well, can I? Yeah, I can like.
You can move around, yeah.
Okay. I'll like float forward and down towards where Jacquet and Bruce are. Maybe holding Fear. You're still up at the top, right?
Yep.
Maybe like I'll reach a hand out to you to like.
Yeah, I could pull you in back down to
Yeah.
my level.
Yeah. So we get back down to everybody else's level. Do the creatures follow?
Mm-hmm. The crab people follow like kind of like children following a magician, where they're kind of like, you look back and they like drop their heads down by below the edge.
Oh yeah.
Go ahead.
Right? Telling them to do something.
Yeah. That's my next in deep speech. I will say to them why are you following me? And I'm not saying that like, why are you following me? Like I'm saying it like just genuinely curious. Like, are you sure you're following the right person?
They don't really respond in like the way they speak. Okay, yeah, so you can only target one creature with halting presence.
Yeah.
It's okay. We'll say the biggest crab got scared of you. But or we'll say the crab that actually did approach Saskia as opposed to the crabs that weren't. Sass, they don't say much. You can hear that chittering noise throughout.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like these crab people don't have the vocal cords to speak, literally. But one of them, one of the guards, one of the guard crabs, just sort of crawls down from the side of the geyser and walks right up to you. And now that they're like right in front of you, these things are fucking big, the guard ones. Yeah. They're as tall as Fearn. And it takes this big, heavy, like mangled looking claw that has barnacles growing on it. You can see all the little tethers of the barnacles coming out and reaching towards you. And the point of the claw comes closer and closer and closer before it taps against your necklace.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Well, let's just start walking back slowly to the cave and going back down. I think they think I'm
an octopus's tentacles just sort of latch onto your boot and your leg.
Oh.
Maybe try telling them to give us some space while we leave.
Yeah, please.
Okay. Would you mind, friends, just clearing a path so we can get back down?
They all back away from you. The octopus and swims away, but not too far away, so it can still see you. You're like the Pope going through a little village.
Yeah, getting that vibe. All right, it's safe. They'll listen to me.
Safe for you.
This is creepy.
I don't know.
No. These people, and I'll indicate all of them. They're my friends. They're with me. They're okay.
Sorry about that. I look at the one crab that I targeted with the fear thing.
it like kind of like lifts itself, like, because this one's like a regular crab, not like one of the people humanoid crabs. It like lifts on its legs on the edge of the crater and sort of just like moves its body in like a weird way, like sort of expressing like confusion, almost like when a dog moves its head like this when it's confused.
He says he's sorry.
The crab sort of like does a little hop and then like just scuttles up to you, Sass, and crawls onto your shoulder.
Okay, come on, let's go. They won't hurt us.
Jacquet slinks out of the cavern.
Yeah, closely behind Jacquet there.
Yeah, and the waters were going down as you guys were standing there, as it was flowing down the exit hallway.
Ian's also walking out, but on his way, he's gonna try and touch the crab that's on her shoulder out of curiosity.
It doesn't like it's not. It does kind of like recoil a little bit as your hand gets close, but it's not aggressive. It does look. It operates like any other crab. Like if you poke it too much, it might snip at you.
But just give it a little scritch behind the eyes.
If you give it a scritch behind its eyes, it does kind of like do a little, what appears to you like a dance, because as it like leans its head into the scratch, almost like an animal.
One might say a rave.
Yeah. But it clings onto your shoulder, Sass.
Hello. Are you coming with me?
It just crawls to the other shoulder.
Okay. All right, let's go. Let's go find Septimus. And you can collect your silver.
As you're walking down the exit, Sass, you start to get a little lightheaded as you're moving further and further away from the crater. Like you even might feel uneasy on your steps. You might even like fall a little bit and put your hand up on the wall as you start to feel the necklace feels really heavy right now. Yeah. You start to get a headache. And then a really piercing pain in your head. As there's almost like your vision goes red for a second, and you see stars. And every time that happens, there's a whisper in your head. That just slowly in pieces says, Drink from the fonts of the world. Consume the power.
Okay. Ah, fuck. And I'll...
You okay, Saskia?
drop to my knees and just scoop a bunch of the water and...
As you do that, the rod that you're holding begins to glow from within. Almost the ghostly green of your magic glows from beneath the cracks of it.
I'll keep drinking to make it glow brighter.
The whispering continues as all of the tiredness goes away with each drink of the water. It's salty though. It's going against your half-elf instincts to drink it.
Yep.
Find more. Drink from every font of the world. Drink the ocean. The entire sea will be ours. More. Everywhere. Saskia.
Okay. Can you just not give me a headache every time? It fucking hurts. I'll drink. I will. I promise I will. And I imagine that I'm like choking on this salt water as I'm continuing to drink it. And
We need to be stronger to protect ourselves.
Protect from what?
Voice goes away. But you feel stronger. And the rod is making you stronger. A +1 rod of the Pact Keeper.
What?
You get the feeling that this will increase in power the more fonts of power you find and consume.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay. And I'll like stumble backwards, just like after drinking my fill, I guess. Do I ever feel satiated?
Yeah.
Like I've drank
Yeah.
enough?
Mhm.
Okay. All right. So I'll stumble backwards and like kind of like sit against the wall for a second. Is the thing still glowing?
It ceases to glow, but you can still feel the humming power beneath it. It'll
Got it.
probably glow anytime you use your magic.
Cool. Okay. Okay. I've had enough. Let's go.
Is there any for us? Joking.
I mean, it's
Actually,
really salty, but you can try and drink it.
Bruce is actually going to take his bag of holding, and he's just going to fill it up entirely with water.
Yeah. The new bag of holding. You just like
The new
dunk
bag
it.
of holding.
You just dunk it.
I'm just going to dunk it, and I'm going to fill up, I think it's 500 pounds of
Yeah.
water.
There's almost like a whirlpool effect that happens at the opening of the bag of
cool.
holding, as you can see several crabs get sucked into.
All right. Cool.
But then eventually there's a bloop, 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 and it's full. You have 500 pounds of enchanted water.
Hell yeah.
500 pounds of enchanted water.
Yeah, dude.
Or 64 cubic feet, I think, which is more.
That's true. I don't know. You can do the math off camera.
I don't care.
But easy enough to get back to the mouth of the cave, and you can either climb down Fion's rope that he tied, or if you have the slots, teleport down. Technically, you can refresh that slot with this Rod of the Pact Keeper.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I just put it on my sheet. Oh yeah. In addition, you can regain 1 warlock spell slot as an action while holding the rod. Cool. Okay. Yeah. I also have my Pearl of Power. But I'll just use I have another spell slot. I'll just use another spell slot to Dimension Door down. And Bruce, I can take you with me if you want, I think.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
So do you just have an army of crabs that we can call upon now?
I don't. Did that crab come with me? Or did it stay?
Once you Dimension Doored, it was no longer with you.
Okay. Yeah.
Like, in fact, those of you who are still up there when she cast Dimension Door, the crab just sort of like shake in the middle of the air like a cartoon, and then it falls to the ground and gets swept out the waterfall.
Bye bye. Have a wonderful time.
Yes, you actually see just sort of like not to the ground, like into the ocean, like
Into the
pops,
ocean.
splash.
Yeah. Okay. Hi, Septimus. I think I'm a queen. And I.
Oh, I'm not used to that. Sorry.
Sorry. I got this. How big is it?
It's not super big. It's probably 2 feet long.
Okay, so it's like something I just keep on my belt.
Yeah, you could definitely keep it on your belt.
Okay, yeah. So I got this. There was a lot of sea creatures up there that really seemed to want to be around me, almost like I was their leader.
It was very creepy. It was all crab people.
Yes, but there really wasn't anything to be afraid of. They weren't going to hurt
Didn't
us.
feel that.
They weren't
You
gonna hurt us.
knew that they weren't going to hurt us. We didn't. So
That's fair.
it was a little more frightening for us.
Okay.
Yeah, I gotta say, they seemed okay towards the end there, but it's kind of hard to read their emotions.
Sure.
You get a distinct vibe that if Sass didn't rise out of the water, that they would have attacked you all. And like to the point where the crabs within the crater probably would have crawled out and started to attack if they didn't understand that you were with Saskia, in an attempt to protect her.
Well,
Yeah, so it was.
do you know what
quite-
that does? Besides, obviously, command an army of potential crab people.
It just makes me stronger.
Hmm.
Which
Well,
was exactly
okay.
what we were hoping for, right? Because that's what we wanted going into this mission.
Yeah. And what did your patron have to say about this encounter?
You know, not much. There was a
Kind of cocks his head to the side and just goes,
yeah, no, I'm fucking lying, but I don't want to talk about it right now. Let me just think about it and process. Let's go do this job, and then maybe I'll have processed enough. It's very strange to be revered.
Saskia, you hear a voice in your head just whisper, "You're not going to tell them."
I don't know. Being revered is kind of what I do. It's not that hard.
Well, I don't know if I should.
Be revered? I mean, I think everyone deserves to be revered a little.
you should keep a level head, though.
Hmm?
Or I'm sure that I'm talking to Sass, not Jaquette.
Yeah.
He's the lost cause. I feel as though those creatures were worshipping something greater through you.
Yeah.
Simple little things crawling around.
They wouldn't hurt them, though, right? Not if I asked them.
Who are you
We just
talking to?
met them.
They'll hurt who we wish.
Well, we're not hurting them. That's for sure. That I'm pretty strong on.
I don't know. Their blood is magical.
Does that make them a threat? I don't think so.
Drink.
said-
In the fonts of power.
Okay.
And we're all just staring at Saskia. So, anything you want to mention, or just later?
Later. I will, I promise. But later, I need to wrap my head around it. But later, I will.
Sass, this rod appears to give you a more direct link to your patron. An externalized link that is not within the necklace and not the ocean, so that you can speak with her more regularly if you wish when you're not
Cool.
by the shores of Hyven.
Cool.
Though
Okay.
you imagine she's still going to be more erratic the further from the ocean you are.
Makes
To the
sense.
point that you might even start to think wherever you go, she goes. That she might not be like elsewhere like you think.
Maybe she's in my necklace.
Sass says that out loud.
Yeah, I do. I do say that. Are you living in here? And then I look up and see them all just staring at me. Right. Let's go.
Glad this at least worked out in our favor for now.
Sal, where's my 30 silver?
Sal holds his fist out over to you, and if you put your hand out, he'll just drop the loose 30 silver into your palm. A lot of it falls onto the ground.
You fucking...
You see Jacquette jump down to grab it as it's like about to fall into the ocean. You don't have
Mage
to jump down
hand
yet.
catches it.
Yeah. I imagine that's more your style. Okay.
As we go to head out, Jacquette lingers a moment, gazing up wistfully at the waterfall, and then shakes his head and follows.
Yeah, you feel a few drops of it splash against your face as you're thinking about it. All right, but you safely get back to the main thoroughfares of the city. What would you like to do? It's around midday.
All right. Well, after that, what are we trying to do? Are we gonna storm the De Leon brothers, or just?
Have you
go
had
take
time
a
to
nap?
think, Septimus?
Yeah. I think that sorry.
Huh?
You want to just storm their place real quick? Pick them up? Come on,
Honestly,
Syrinscape.
I was about to suggest something along those lines.
Oh, not
I mean,
why
it's the 5 of us and
not? The two of
the
them.
2 of them.
Us, Sal.
Can
6
we-
of us. You're right. How can I
Might
be so
we-
foolish?
Saskia's patron, kind of, if you think about it.
Well, if we're gonna do this, might we rest for an hour?
I'm still not completely sold on the idea.
Well, what do you think we should do, Finn?
I mean, you want to go there in the middle of the day
Mm-hmm.
and just walk up to them and beat
Mm-hmm.
them up and take them to the Commodore and tell them that they were the ones that tried to kill us?
Yeah, we should do it publicly.
I mean, that's kind of what our job is, right? As Iron and Mana?
Honestly,
We're
thinking
just-
about that too, doing it in broad daylight is not the worst thing ever, because obviously our little ruse with Runifred has gone around town, so our name has less respect. So maybe it's time we show the city what we're capable of.
I just think that if we're going to be doing this for the Commodore, as the Commodore's
We're doing it for
agent-
us. We're doing it for us.
Well, if
They
we're
can't
doing
be
it for
allowed
us,
to
then
live or be around
can't-
free if they're going to go around trying to kill us.
I get it, but if we're doing it for us, then we shouldn't expect the Commodore to back us up when we bring them in. If we're going to ask for her help in the situation, we need to let her know what the situation is.
Find a message here real quick. I just smoke a little bit, you know. let
Look,
her know.
I'm going to be honest, guys. I don't feel comfortable with this for those reasons, but also I kind of have a date tonight, and I really don't want it to go bad.
What?
And
What?
you guys are, I mean, can we wait like 24 hours?
You have a date?
You are the strangest, most nonsensical creature I've ever met.
I didn't really want to bring it up, but I guess now the cat's out of the bag.
Yeah, I had a date with Reardon this morning that I blew off.
Well, that was
There are
rude.
more important things to do in life.
Like what?
Like get back at the motherfuckers that tried to kill me.
This.
Fiona, you're just gonna leave it at that? Do you have a date?
Yeah,
Someone
Yeah.
you met at the party last night?
I mean, you all know her. It's Odwin,
Who?
the bouncer at the otter business.
Her?
Is it fight night? What day is it?
It's
No.
Fight
It's
into-
Friday.
Were you just going to go get a drink?
I don't know. We're gonna meet there, and we'll see where it goes.
Well, wouldn't it be so exciting to go up to her and be like, "Oh, how was your day?" And she was, and you were like, "Oh, well, you know, I turned in 2 criminals today. So how about you?"
I took out your main competitor.
Right.
I mean-
okay, yeah. Well, what kind of? That's a great.
It's a great point, God.
Yeah.
No, it was a seagull. It's actually no, it's that little crab. It crawled out of the water.
It's in the bag. Yeah, the one that's in the bag.
Yeah.
No, it's just Lollyrock that sometimes just gains.
Take out their
Like
main
wires,
competitor.
Look, I haven't been in town doing nothing for a long time. We've been going back-to-back missions, and just got out of a hairy situation with a bunch of shelly monsters. Can we just like take a little breather? Talk to the Commodore. I'm sure she'll come up with a better plan than what we have right now.
I mean, I don't necessarily disagree with him. I think his reasons aren't valid. He's clearly just trying to get his dick wet, which, like, kudos to you, man, but...
No, agreed with Jaquette. At least take the night to try to think of a better way to do this. I still don't think we should talk to the Commodore until we have the De Leon brothers. I feel
Don't trust-
it's not even just that. We are expected to be the ones taking care of things in this town. If we keep on running to her, asking her for her advice or telling us what to do, what's the need for us?
We work for her.
No. Well, yes, you're right. We work for her, but we also work for ourselves. And as Septimus said, an attempt was made on one of our party members' lives, and we should respond to that. Otherwise, who knows what happens in the future?
Well,
if we could,
who knows what happens in future, General? What if the De Leon brothers have some sort of deal with the Commodore, and she needs to mitigate this in some way? Maybe they will have to pay reparations in some other fashion.
And
So-
we'll know. Then we'll have
Yeah.
another data point. And then we can work for ourselves even further.
But do we want to support the Commodore in her illegal dealings, Fearn? I thought we were all about justice, right? We're here to bring order to Hyven, stop the criminals. If she's
You're right.
working with them, that's, I mean, as Bruce said, a good data point to know, but that's not a really good thing.
We could use that in our favor. If
That's true. I mean, I guess better she's working with them than Mr. Greaves, but still.
Maybe she is Mr. Greaves.
If we're gonna require her help
Jacques
to get
just
you
kinda
out
like
of this family thing,
Okay,
if you're trying to kill two birds with one stone, we need to talk to her first.
Jacquette's like nodding to Saskia, like, yeah, I'm on the same page as you, and then turning to Fear and goes, that's fair. But remember, and then using minor illusion, he creates the words, don't trust anyone. And then he underlines it. That's been the prevailing piece of advice we've gotten since arriving here. I'll leave it at that.
Does that include each other?
Jacquette like backs up against the wall. He's like, no, I'm kidding. I fucking trust you, idiots. I
You're
say
not-
that endearingly.
Deadpan right now.
Okay, so you guys are going to sleep on it?
I think yes, we're gonna sleep on it while Fearn.
Tries to get his dick wet.
Yeah.
Goes
That's
out
what
on
you
his date.
think.
Okay. So, then with that in mind, I think we may end there and
Okay.
pick up next week with we could start off with Fearn with his date and then go into the next day with whatever you decide you want to do with the De Leon brothers, whether that's a full on assault, speak with the Commodore, or some third alternative that you come up with over the next week.
Got a whole week to sleep on it.
Yeah, exactly. If everyone's okay with that.
Yeah.
Nah, I want to keep going, Sean.
Because he's got to think about how to kill you. Get yourself into some crazy shit.
Fearin, you wake up in the middle of the night and you're covered in crabs.
And not the good kind.
There's a good kind.
Anyway, before that conversation continues, Thank you, folks, for hanging out with us. We're gonna end there tonight. We'll be back up next Monday, where we will see how it plays out with their search or onslaught or discussion with the De Leon brothers.
For the super special Memorial Day extravaganza, we'll be playing for 7 hours straight.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
Really?
Also, so this is good because in case you do decide you're gonna go kill the De Leon brothers, I have time now to make proper stat blocks.
Oh, we didn't say kill. Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry. Wait, if you go decide
you want us to kill them,
beat them up. I can actually not
rough
have
them
to
up. Rough
really
them up.
like
Kill
rush.
them.
Look for a random stat block.
I could
that
just
works.
pour water through the chimney of their building.
Oh my god! Yeah,
you have a poor man's canter of endless water, even though Jacquet has a real one.
Like Bruce walk in, and be like, "Yeah, I'm looking for some stolen goods." Oh, and then just like open up the bag and then just floods the whole place.
All you'd have to do is puncture the bag, and it will all just rush out. Or
but also just end it whenever I want.
True,
you
can
explode.
just end it, and it'll just like the scene in Inception with all that water that comes through the anyway. That's it for us tonight, folks. Good night. We'll see you all next week. Say goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.